three. I can move, I can groove, come and follow me. I'm taking the lead, get this right, I'm queen. If you know what's good, come and follow me. Cause it's about to go down. If you wanna make your highness proud, I'm taking the lead like 1, 2, 3. Come and follow me.
What's up, Vips?
Daddy, you right?
Sorry?
Daddy, when is mommy coming back?
Later.
How later?
I'm sure you'll be asleep already, Vips.
How later?
Probably 10 o'clock, Vips.
Say again?
Probably around 10 o'clock, Vips. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the next round in our LSA Tier 3 series. We have an exciting race for us tonight out there in Mexico. The teams are already out of the pits. We have a couple of our drivers heading up out there. We're going to just see who's on track and see who's getting in there. We got an outlap there from Clark. Let's see what he's looking like right now. We'll jump on board with him and follow him through his lap, a little bit of a push lap, warming up right now. We're going to get a couple of our details going here. Obviously, they're all going to be on softs. We'll do the best ones that we can. Let's see some best laps. We'll put a little telemetry on there, see what's going on. We're going to put our track map on as well so we can see where everyone else is going there. And we'll see where we can do some lap data as well. Alright, if anyone's listening, Francois, okay, there we go. Francois, I see you in the chat. I hope you can hear me now clearly, and I hope the volume is good. Let me know if the balance between the game and my voice is clear enough. If not, I will make some adjustments. Let's turn off our... Alright, there we go. Let's enjoy some of our hot laps. We've got Clark heading out here. I'm going to switch in between a couple of bits of information that we have as well to look at. Try and bring a bit of spice to our lives tonight. We've got some instant replay cameras hopefully on standby, ready to go. We've got some points to look at as well. We've got the constructor points. We've got the driver standings. And there's definitely some tight races. Every race is making a big difference here. We see Derigeri setting our first purple lap with a 1 minute 15.549, which is a good lap. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to keep him in the front there, but certainly setting out the track there. Clark running out of those lap times there a little bit. There we got Teodric laying down the gauntlet already with almost a 15 flat with a 15.037. And let's switch on up a little bit here to the rest of our contenders tonight is what I'm going to go with. Thanks, Francois, for the confirmation. We're all good. All right, let's head up here. So just to give you some sort of idea, and I'll flash this on the screen for a moment, and then I'll share with you. But if we have a look at what is happening, we'll actually see that we've got some interesting points happening. So in the constructor points, we have the Aston Martin leading with 249 points. We've got the Ferrari coming in second there with 225, and McLaren coming in with 210 points. And then if we have a look at the driver standings, a little bit tighter here. Blue Turtle, thanks Blue Turtle for hosting us tonight, leading the championship at the moment with 170 points. John Coe coming in a close second with 166. Butari has got 165, and Skulk coming in with 152. As you can see, Skulk jumping 3 positions after last week's race, which was really exciting. So this is the standings after our race at Spa. Butari dropping down 1. We've got a couple other positions, Tac Matrix, Warrior as well dropping down 1, Teodric dropping down 1. So as you can see, pretty close here, every race making all the difference between the teams here in Tier 3 in Season 8 of LSA. And let's head on back over to our races and our qualifying. Let's see where we are. So keeping in mind, we're keeping an eye out here for Blue Turtle, Jonko, Butari, and Skulk. Tac and Warrior all there in the top 6. Teodric as well. Certainly wanting to put a couple of points up there to try catch up. So let's follow on with who are we going to pick on tonight? I think let's jump over to Teodric, who's in the pit there. Daddy Harry out on the track still, setting a couple of lap times. Definitely wanting to improve on that first lap that he set for us tonight at a 15.5. Osman coming in second there with a 15.4. And then, of course, Teodric's definitely setting the benchmark by a considerable distance of 15.037. We have a yellow flag there, but doesn't look like anyone stopped on the track, just running off a little bit of track there. We've got a couple of drivers running through. Derikeri looks like he's pretty low on petrol at the moment, using some of that DRS. still available to him as he goes into another lap. I'm not sure if he's pushing for a hot lap here, but let's jump on over. I think we've got our Red Bull down there. If we jump over, I think it's going to be, that's Osman there. There we go, Osman running a hot lap here. Full DRS down that back half a straight almost. And we got a Foster sector out there. Let's see if we can pull up some lap times in a moment to see who that is. These curves are quite forgiving, the majority of them here on Mexico. There you go, using every ounce of the track, and these chicanes here, looks like he'll win off. I think he went off track there. I think this lap is not going to count for him, unfortunately. But let's see what we got. Looking tight as he's coming down hard on the brakes into the stadium corner. I don't know the names of these corners. Who knows if they got names? We'll do some research in between qualifying and the race, see if we can find something for you folks. But Clark coming in there with the 15.137. Osman coming over that line, giving us a 137 and 127. So not much between the two there in second and third place. Still no one quite touching Teodric, but this is how tight it is, folks. This is how tight it is. Interesting to always see how this plays out. At the moment, Teodric sitting down in 7th position in the drivers' rankings. Osman not that great at the moment, only all the way down in 19th. So always a big difference between what's happening in a race versus what's happening in a qualifying. There's a couple of laps ahead of us here for this race, so it's all going to be about, can you keep it, can you do it consistent, can you keep it nice and tidy through the full duration of the race tonight. Everything's looking good, folks. Our stream is running. We've got the chat open. Feel free to drop a comment. Who are you rooting for tonight? You got a driver out there that you're watching. Let us know who that is. Alright, let's jump on over to Batari. Batari halfway through his lap. Just finishing off the first sector now. Looking good there, a little bit behind the pace with 1.4 seconds behind the pace at the moment. But let's see what he can do in the second sector here. Fairly neat and tidy, looking like he's holding it together, using the much of that track as possible. All through these high-speed chicanes, getting off the track there again, playing it nice and tight, keeping it down this lane as he comes into the stadium corner. Hard on those brakes after the DRS being fully open all the way through, using a bit of track there, dropping down to second gear through these little squirrely corners, trying to get as much speed out of that last corner to get down that back straight. And looks like he's dropping into the pits. All that excitement for absolutely nothing. All right, let's jump on over to what we got. See, here we have Tack Baby J running on mediums. Not sure if this is a strategy to preserve his soft tires, perhaps doing a bit of track time here, getting a bit track acclimated at the moment. But so far, the 3 out of our top 4 sitting in the pits. We got Osman, who's coming out here, who looks like he's about to enter into his next hot lap there as he comes around the last corner. Nope. Also jumping down into the pits. Let's have a look through the track here. Looks like we've got a hot lap possibly from our other Ferrari. Yeah, the one I was just on with the medium. But let's jump down to Jonko. He's on his outlap at the moment, so getting some temperature into those tires is what he's going to be trying to do here. Full throttle down that back, 7th gear, and as he heads into that stadium corner again, down to 4th, 5th, 2nd, 3rd, sorry, 4th, 3rd, and using 4th gear, almost full throttle as he comes out of that back corner, full on the ERS. And as the straight is extreme, well, the longest straight in the track, of course, using the full potential of his ERS there. DRS fully open, tight on the left. And we have the first sub 15-second lap time. Skulk setting a very nice and tidy 14.967 So Skulk sitting in provisional pole there, as we are still on board here with Jonko, the one Ferrari, his fastest lap so far with a 1 minute 16. He's looking very nice in sector one, just a few hundredths off the best time there. And as he goes through sector two, taking the edges there, full throttle all the way around, using every inch of the track that the limits are allowing him, coming back down that final little short straight there before you hit this little nice stadium corner. Always interesting to see how the different people, all the way down on 17% on his ERS, third gear, fourth gear, and nice to see Warriors joined the session with us. That's good to know, Warrior. And Jonko definitely improving in time, 1 minute 50.185. I see Daddy Ferry is back on track there as well. So let's see where he's going. Put him up there. Looking good. It looks like he is on a hot lap at the moment, but no, I'm sorry. He's a bit slow. 6 seconds on that. Looks like he might just be putting some heat in his tires, or coming off his fast lap actually, with still sitting at the moment on a 15.27. There we go. Full speed down that long straight over the start line to start his next hot lap. DRS all the way open, and as he heads into this hard right hand corner, using a little bit of the left of the track there, not too much curve, but nice and tight on the inside, a little bit wide on that corner, could have been a bit tighter, using the track on the left hand side there, and definitely trying to get as much momentum into this next series of corners here. Hard on the brakes all the way down to second gear, hard left, hard right, and as he follows the final little U-bend here around the corner, definitely want to pick up some speed as he gets into these last series of high-speed corners here. You want to get as much traction out of that corner there as you can, carrying as much speed all the way through. Every meter of track that you can save in a corner here is going to add you. Looking very, very tight, about 8 thousandth off the track, off the current high speed. A little bit high on that curve, a little bit of bounce there. Let's see where he is though. Looking very good around the final corner. A little bit squirrely, and he darts into the pits. Not happy with that, obviously, pulling out of that very exciting track. Let's jump on with Teodric here, who's certainly going to try take back pole on his outlap here. So hopefully, if we're pulling this right, he is entering now into his fast lap, hopefully his hot lap, as he opens up that DRS onto that long straight, heading down there. A little bit squirrely there. You want to keep that as straight as you can to maximize your speed down that straight. Hard into the corner, third gear into these next two corners here. And then as he extends that track limit as much as he can, using that, looks like he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. This could hinder his lap, and unfortunately it looks like that is a Haas that is holding him up. But in the meantime, while we're watching this take place, I think that Teodric is going to pull out of this lap, being hindered a little bit there by that Haas in front of him. Osman setting an incredible 14.641. Some fantastic lap times there. Again, he's certainly going to be trying to claw back some points, sitting way down on the Drivers' Championship at the moment. So as it stands right now, Osman in at provisional pole position. We still have 2 minutes 40 seconds left of this qualifying session. This is a short qualifying session, so not a lot of time here to get your lap times down. Staying on board, see what Teodric is going to do now. Is he going to try and jump out there and get another fast lap as he's still got fuel in the car? He's got those tires all heated up. And no, he's going to pop into the pits there. And I imagine do some engineering conversations there with his team. Let's see what Clark is doing. I think Clark is heading down. Looks like he's on a good lap here so far. Let's see what his first sector time comes in. And as we bring that in, 200ths of a second behind the fastest lap time. So not bad off our current times. Let's see where he's coming in. He's currently sitting in fifth position, and really only 500ths of a second between him and our pole position, Osman, looking really nice and tidy, keeping those wheels within those track limits all the way through the chicane there as he comes down this short little straight, hard on the brakes, all the way down to fourth gear. He's going to keep it to fifth, fourth, pop up and down there, all the way into second, a little bit of a hop over that corner there. And as he takes a lot of that curve coming around the last corner, let's see where he's coming in. 12, 13, 14, 15. Doesn't do much, unfortunately, does not improve his time there. And about 400 seconds off his fastest time. We're going to jump on board here with Daddy Harry, see what he's doing here. He's not on an outlap, so we could be lucky here to be catching him on one of his fast laps. Could be looking to try and take back a bit of a higher position on this grid tonight, sitting in third place at the moment. He's on his second lap, and that looks like track limits, unfortunately. Looks like he took all four tires off the road there. Let's see if he's still going to try and finish this lap strong. I don't see any indications that it's been disqualified, but of course we don't get to see that, unfortunately, in the spectator view. Some questions coming from here. Who's my money on for tonight? That is a fantastic question. Spending some time this week with all the drivers, as they've been doing some practice sessions and getting a bit of feel for the track as well. It's hard to tell. I think confidence is going to play a big role tonight. I think Skulk is out for blood. He wants to get back into that top position. He is on a chase at the moment, picking up 3 positions after the last driver's time. And just a quick note there, unfortunately, Gerry not able to improve his lap time there, so actually dropping down to fourth as John Coe comes in with a 15-second flat. Always nice to look at these nice round numbers coming in there. But yeah, as to who my money on, that is a hard question to answer. I think I'm gonna go with Skulk. I feel like he's hungry. He's looking good. I'm sorry, Harry. Unfortunately, ending the qualifying spectacularly, putting a yellow sector on that back corner. I'm not sure. Let's just drop down here. Let's see if anyone else has got a. If they're on the hot lap, they're going to be hindered by that. No, it looks like the stewards were able to clear that before it's going to have any sort of impact here. Looks like Tack Baby J is still on a hot lap, pushing down for the last few seconds of this session and seeing if he can finish his lap. But yeah, like I said, I think Skulk, based on most recent performance, I think he's in the running here to put it both foot forward. But as you can see, not much between these top runners tonight. So I think we are certainly in for an exciting, exciting race. All right, folks, let's watch as we on board here with Tack Baby J, Baba J, sorry, not Baby J. Baba J, let's see what he's looking at. His best time being 1 minute 15.627, and unfortunately not going to improve that today as we finish off the qualifying session. Baba J coming in there at 11th position, and let's see what those final results look like. So Osman taking pole position with an impressive 14.64. Skulk coming in second there with a 14.739, and then Laser coming out of nowhere, throwing in that last lap, 14.889. John Coe, very, very nice 15 flat. And then David Gerry, despite crashing out on his last lap, I'm sure just for a little bit of fun, 15.027, and then a 15.037 from Teodric. So really not much in it between these guys tonight. I think we're certainly in for an exciting, exciting race. All right, folks, we're going to have a check and race control and see what time we should get going. But I believe we should get the call for about 20:42, 20:43. So if you need to top up your drink, if you need a bio break, now would be a great time. I didn't want to jinx it, folks, but it looks like we're in for some rain. Of course, it rains in Mexico. I thought it rains in Spain, but apparently it rains in Mexico. So tonight we look like we're gonna have a wet race, folks. This is very interesting. I'm gonna hop over to the other what I see here, and I just want to flash this on very quickly. Thanks, John Co, for your stream so we can actually show the viewers today. That is what it looks like, folks. 77% rain in our race tonight. I am excited. This could certainly change things up a little bit. The temperature, track temperature, 33 degrees, so not that cold, actually, not crazy. But the air temperature, fairly moderate, 26 degrees. So this is certainly going to be an exciting race for us. It looks like the sun is going to make an appearance, but we are certainly going to have some rain. There's definitely going to be some water on that track. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen there. Let's make this a little bit bigger, actually, for the folks at home. And so you guys can see what's happening here. I'll switch back again to our main race in a moment. Let's just hear from race control to see what time are we kicking off this race tonight. Blue Turtle has confirmed we are starting at 2041. 2041. So hopefully you've topped up your drinks and you've emptied your bladders. Folks, we're in for an exciting race tonight. All right, folks, 1 minute away from green lights here. I'm just having a look in to see what we've got going on. Very excited to see how this is going to play out. Obviously, pole position being a good place to be in weather like this. You definitely don't want to be behind the pack. Certainly in for some challenges there. A long straight before we hit that hot right corner, and then of course the left and the right little chicane that we got going there, and then straight into the big U. So not a lot of space here for a pretty much full grid tonight. So I think we're definitely going to be in for some action. We here will try and certainly keep you on the right cars and within the right action. I think this is certainly going to be something that's going to be fun. Uh, I'm a bit confused right now, but I think we are seeing some different things going on. All right, folks, here we go. Time for that race. We're starting there in pole position. A bit of a squirrely start from all of them. The second Red Bull there with Laser getting a bit caught up, I think, in traffic. Skulk trying hard to hold up with Osman. Osman has got a good start down into the first corner, and Skulk just slipping in smartly behind him there. We've got some changing positions there. We've got Tac Matrix picking up a few, Laser dropping down a position, and these cars all over the place. You can just see this track is very, very messy. We've got a yellow flag in the first sector, but it looks like it's all cleared and looks like everyone is on the track still. I see a couple of changing positions. Laser getting back that position from Tac, and not much between those two. They're going to be fighting it out all the way. There you can see the Kick Sauber fighting it out with that Red Bull as Tac is trying to take in that first position. Osman still holding the lead from Skulk, but all seem to be on enters. Let's have a look quickly at what our tire situation looks like, folks. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Put in the detail. Let's put some tires on there. Everyone on the intermediate, so that's where we are right now. And then, of course, we're going to just have a look at what the position change looks like. So, Tac Matrix picking up a whole 5 positions, obviously having an excellent start. Kirkle as well, jumping in with an excellent start there. So this is certainly interesting, folks. Very, very squirty though. Out of all these corners, Inters might just not even be it. It looks like everyone's struggling a little bit for grip here, but Osman still holding on to that first position with Skulk right on those heels. As I said a little bit earlier, he's on a bit of a run with some points and certainly looking to pick up a couple more tonight as they head down that straight. Hardly can't even see the back of the pack there as well. Not much in it, folks. And just having a look at what's going on here. It looks like we seem to have jumped streams on the other side here. Excuse me, folks. We'll jump over to that in a moment. But let's have a look at here. Skull trying to take the inside line, but not able to hold it as he holds onto the outside and again falls back into place behind Osman. Osman sharply changing direction. They're taking that inside line and attack Matrix now, right also on the tail of Skulk, because we know that he is also looking for a couple of points. There we see possible strategies. Thank you very much, AWS. Inters to inters, or inters to inters to inters. So those are the options that you have today, folks. It did look like there's a bit of sun, so it is still raining at the moment, so the track is going to definitely stay wet for some time. But as we head around in through the stadium there, you can sort of just hear the crowd supporting that Red Bull car. They are super excited. Of course, they miss Perez, but you know, Osman is a good enough substitute for him there, I think, in that case. So there we go. Definitely some fast laps. Everyone changing places here with fast laps. Skulk getting a bit of a good run down that straight. He's got the inside line, but does he have enough pace to take over? It looks like with that speed, with his ERS, he was able to slip into first position, getting that from Osman. And again, you know, qualifying is not what it's all about. So let's hope and see what he can do tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing this race unfold tonight. If we go a little bit further down the track today, let's have a look. We see that Skulk's opening up. We got some other battles further down here, and folks, let me just switch on to the interval between the cars so we can see what's actually happening. And I just want to put all of this on for us tonight. And I think what we're going to do as well, let's got that full track, and let's put some telemetry on as well, folks. We can see what these drivers are going through here. Look at that clutch control, brake and throttle control here. Here we're still on board with Laser, who's chasing down Tac Matrix, definitely wanting to get back that third position, but seems to be playing a little bit easy, still pretty tight here on that Kick Sauber, not giving him much room to go away, but the pack's still pretty tight together. Only one really pulling a bit away is Skulk. And then as we move down the line here a little bit, let's see what's happening. We see Clark chasing down Laser as well here. Clark picking up 2 positions from the starting grid. So already in lap 4, we have him up in 2 positions. Definitely looking strong here to try and take back another position from that Red Bull who is behind him. And folks, stay with us tonight. Let's jump down here. We got Warrior, who is hunting down Kirkle, right on the tail of Kirkle, that racing bull, and he is hungry for some points. Warrior putting in the effort, putting in the time. Had a little bit of a holiday last week, and so he's certainly going to be wanting to try and make up some points after missing out the points from last week. And at least not missing out the points, but struggling a little bit, having to race on an Xbox, which was exciting, showing the commitment to the race here. Down we have the 2 Mercedes right behind each other. Watari losing out of position already in the race, but right on the tail of Blue Turtle. Let me remind you as well, Blue Turtle is currently our driver's standing leader. So leading the points championship right now is Blue Turtle, but certainly down in 9th position is not going to help him hold on to that position. That is going to cost him a little bit if he doesn't get a couple more positions there tonight. But, you know, this is Formula 1 and this is racing. Warrior, just looking at Warrior as well, picking up an impressive 7 positions from the race this week and from the race start. So really off to a good start from him on this side. Hopefully that he can keep that and keep fighting that as he chases down Kirkle. on that long, beautiful straight, and not getting too much closer to him, but also not letting him get away. Folks, let's jump back up to our top two races here. Skulk not pulling away from Tac Matrix. However, Osman losing another position here, and Laser back into third position. So there the Red Bulls swapping positions during that last lap. Tac Matrix an impressive 6 positions up as he is now chasing second place. But again, that interval between him and Skulk, not much in it, hovering between a half a second to 700ths of a second. We're going to have to see what happens here, folks. The jump on board to Skulk is looking pretty neat and tidy here, but he's going to certainly be under a lot of pressure from Tac Matrix, who is hungry for that first position. We've got some comments. Teodric being the wet master. I'm excited to hear that. Let's see where we are. Unfortunately, he lost out a little bit in the start there, dropping down about 5 positions. It looks like they all got caught up on each other a little bit, and I'll try to pull up a replay from that so we can see what's happening, folks. I'm going to leave you here, and I'm going to jump. Actually, let's do this. Let's jump onto Tac Matrix, who's right on the tail here of Skulk, hungry for first place. And as we are going around into sector 2 of lap 6, not much between these two. Seems to be these intermediates are holding out, and still some rain I can see falling all the way throughout the whole track here. So not much options for us. I'm curious to see what is going on here as we see Tac Matrix. This is going to be hard to defend. Tac Matrix right on his tail. Looks like he's got a bit of a drive through these high-speed corners right on the tail of Skulk, and as they hard right into the stadium, right on his tail here. Now this is going to be proved to be interesting. Obviously no DRS in these rain conditions, so that's certainly going to be a challenge for anyone who wants to overtake. But as they round the last corner and start coming over the finish line here, Skulk able to get a bit of a better drive out of that corner, but still only 400 of a second, 300 of a second. Tac Matrix seems to be tightening up there a little bit, and we have Reki at the back there picking up his first 3-second penalty from track limits. We can certainly expect to see that tonight, folks. Certainly a hard track to keep all 4 wheels on top of the fact that we have a wet race with us here today. So Skulk doing some incredible defense work here, holding back Tac Matrix. And of course, this is giving Laser the opportunity to catch up to Tac as well. In a moment, Tac is going to have to be thinking about defending against that Red Bull. Fighting and losing too much time against Skulk is going to cost him. And of course, Laser is there to capitalize on that in a heartbeat. Folks, excuse me one moment. I'm going to try and jump and let me just see what I can do here for us as we head on over. I want to see if I can pick up. It looks like we lost John Coe's live stream, and I'm going to just switch over to that. And okay, we're back, folks. We're back. We've got it there. Just keep an eye and see what's happening with John Coe, who's a little bit further down, back into 12th position. And I'm going to see if I can pick up a couple of other the onboard POV streams tonight, so we can flash back to them if we get anything interesting happening. I am going to scrub back to the earlier race there. I think John Coe lost out right at the start of the race, getting caught up in a little bit of traffic and a bit of a tangle on that second corner there, costing him a couple of positions. But here you can see a pretty tight battle right in the front. They are pulling a little bit away here from Osman. Osman being chased down by Kirkle. We'll jump back to these 3 in a moment. Let's have a look. Kirkle, unfortunately, just as I jumped to him, he has lost it on that corner. And unfortunately, after doing a lot of hard work there, catching up with Osman, he has now dropped back a further 2.3 seconds. And of course, Daddy Kheri seeing that opportunity and jumping on him right there, ready to take him. But Daddy Kheri struggling a little bit today. I need to get some confirmation, but I'm pretty sure he's still running with no assists, and at least in cockpit view. So certainly playing this game on hardcore mode puts him in a different position there as well. We jump down to Kirkle. It looks like Warrior was able to take Kirkle and opening up a nice gap there. And the next person behind Kirkle is Botari. Botari, or Bota, I think is probably what people call him, right on the tail of Kirkle here. Mercedes being a little bit embarrassed to be behind a racing ball. Not the first time it's happened, certainly not the last time it's happened, but I can imagine Botari here looking to take some time. Laser, look at that. Laser setting the fastest lap time with 1:27 at the moment. And let's have a look who else we've got here. Teodric chasing down Blue Turtle as well. Less than half a second behind them. Not much in it. Teodric is right on the tail of Blue Turtle here. Seeing if he can outbreak him maybe in this first straight on the start. It looks like he's got it. Able to just clip in front of Blue Turtle and jump through. Like you said, Francois, maybe that Webmaster man is coming in. Alright, folks, let's jump up here. I don't know what's happening here. we missed a little bit of action here, a little bit of activity. But Laser and Tack switching positions head to head here, giving Skulk a bit of breathing room. Laser taking second position from Tack Matrix there in that last corner. Looking tight, looking neat. Looks like they kept it all pretty clean. And Laser now open to chase down Skulk. But I can assure you, Tack Matrix is definitely not going to let that go. This is definitely a game of consistency, folks. Whoever is going to keep it neat and tidy every corner, every lap, is the person who's going to hold their position here. One little slip, one little correction, under correction there is what is going to cost you a position here tonight, folks, especially in these top three, with not more than a second and a bit separating all three of them. Clark looks like he's opened up a little bit after jumping Daddy Hiri and chasing down Osman as well. Let's have a look at Clark, who is definitely eager to get back a couple of positions. Not doing so well in the qualifying tonight, but showing us that Haas has got a little bit of pace this season. As we follow him on board here, jumping through and hunting down Osman here, who had an impressive pole position but lost out and already down 3 positions, unfortunately, for the evening. So not much in it here, folks, but Clark very, very close here, ready to take out Osman, and I'm sure he's just waiting for the opportunity now. Again, not a thing you need to rush. Make sure you're getting a good drive, making sure you're being clean and consistent. You want to make sure you got a bit of speed there. That was a little bit of Tokyo drifting there, which drops him back a little bit behind there, losing so time. And as I said, folks, that's what it's all about. Just one corner, losing a little bit of oversteer there, and causing him to drop back a couple of hundredths of a second, all the way back down to 1.2 seconds now behind Osman. So that is certainly going to cost him as he gets up there. But folks, this is where the action is happening. I'm going to put us back right in the middle here, put us between Laser and Tack. As we see there, not much in it. Again, Laser being very aggressive here on Skulk, right on his tail. And again, no DRS. We have a wet track, so our race control is definitely not going to allow for us to open up those tail things. But that is not stopping Laser from staying right on the tail of Skulk tonight. Looking nice and tidy. No penalties in the top 4 to worry about. Only Clark, who's dropped further back now, down by another 3 seconds. Obviously losing a little bit of time there, and unable to hold and keep up to Osman there. But definitely under pressure now from Daddy Ferry as they're coming through the second sector. But as we see on board here, Skulk still defending an impressive drive here by these top 3 gentlemen. Tack Matrix coming up all the way from 8th position into a podium position right now. Falling a little bit behind Laser at this moment, and Skulk, there you go, sitting another fastest lap, of course, as these track conditions seem to be improving. And of course, the fuel on the car gets a little bit lighter. That is going to have a big impact on our ability to drive a little bit faster around this track tonight. Folks, I'm just checking there, see if we got any more membership streams. Alright, we've also got Warrior. If you'll excuse me, you're gonna, because F124 is stupid, it's gonna go to the menu, because as soon as I alt tab into anything else, it does that. But bear with me, bear with me. All I'm doing here is I want to open up a couple of the other streams that we've got here, folks. We've got Warrior stream available to us now as well, which is great. And this gives us a little perspective on these things. So Warrior chasing down California there, and let's get back on board here with our race tonight. Alright folks, so from what I can see on our driver's screens and on my screen here is that we're definitely still experiencing some rain. So rain coming off the visors of the drivers pretty much all the way through the track there. Still fighting for a little bit of grip, but definitely that racing line drying up a little bit there as we can see that forming. And here we go, Laser diving on the inside, trying to take the inside line from Scott. He looks like he's going to hold that overtake. Skulk trying to take it back on the inside, but unable to get him there, a little bit squirrely, losing a bit of that tail as they come out of that corner there. But Skulk is certainly not going to let this go, and is quite tight there on the tail of Laser. We are in for some exciting racing, folks. So Laser coming from third position on the starting grid, putting out in podium there. But Skulk is not having it, folks. He is fighting back tooth and nail for that position. Skulk using the outside line there and trying to get a little bit of traction, but it looks like he lost a little bit of momentum there going into these high-speed corners, and that's going to certainly cost him, as we can see Laser pulling a little bit of a gap now as they head into the stadium corner. Very impressive racing here, folks. Full speed all the way, as fast as we can go on inters and wets, of course, but certainly looking very, very exciting here, folks. Alright, let's see what we got further down the line here. We've got Kirkle, who seems to have lost momentum a little bit, dropping down back to 10th position there. But here again, these top three, not more than a second between them. Attack Matrix back in action here, and unfortunately I've just watched that on his speed there. Unfortunately, Warrior picking up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Jumping into pits, it looks like he's switching onto hards. Yes, folks, that is correct. That is possibly our first switch onto hards. It looks like it's clearing up a little bit. I still see rain falling, but Warrior taking the adventurous route here and jumping onto hard tires. This is interesting, folks. This is certainly very interesting. Let's pull up our details here quickly. Let's have a look and see what we see. We've got one stop for Warrior, and that's it. Warrior is the only one. Everyone's still sitting on those intermediates. So I'm not sure if this is going to start a flurry of things. After experiencing some challenges on the race, this could be the way that he could see this going. I am excited to see how that's going to pan out, folks. Certainly excited. But again, these top three neck and neck here. Skulk falling back into the claws of Tac Matrix here with 0.02 of a second between them. Tac Matrix taking a very interesting line on the pit straight there and jumping at what looks like a little bit off the line. Not sure if he's trying to get a bit of speed there, trying to force Skulk into a bit of a defensive move. But Skulk is unfazed and still seems to have his sights set on that first position where Laser is holding him right now. Alright, folks. We're going to go down through the grid here. If we have a look, we see Warrior. How's it going? I mean, let's jump on board there with Warrior, who has jumped onto these hard tires, heading down that pit straight there, hard braking into the first corner. Let's see what this looks like. He looks like it's neat and tidy, holding it under control, dropping down to third, and unfortunately, Kirkle there picking up another 3-second penalty. Warrior is definitely struggling there a little bit, sliding around. But has he called this, folks? Has he got it right? Has he called this early enough, or is it too early? I'm watching here as his times, and is he catching up to Roymere? Oh, not really, not at this point, folks. But again, watching his on board, the rain has definitely slowed down. There are still drops on the visors, so I'm still seeing that. But Roy Mead as well, there we go, sliding around there. And these folks, 16 laps on these intermediates now. We might start seeing some pit stops happening as we go through the ranks here. As we can see, pretty much evenly spread, a couple of people chasing here and there, not much in it. Daddy Kheri still on the tail there of Clark, who is gaining a couple of positions here and pulled up 2 positions. Osman still driving there, a little bit on his own, really, kind of stuck in between the top 3 and the rest of the pack with a very comfortable zone or space between him, and then Clark still sitting on that 3-second penalty. But it looks like Osman not able to keep up with those front runners and those front 3 who are really in this race at the moment in a league of their own. Almost 6.5 seconds down the road from their closest rival, but not more than 1 second between the 3 of them. So this is absolutely some phenomenal racing here, folks. Let's jump on board. We'll sit with Skulk, who's stuck in the middle here with the 2 of them. And there again, down that pit straight, attack matrix, trying something new. Skulk trying to slip onto the inside lane here. Is he going to be able to outbrake Laser? It's very neck and neck, folks. And again, no DRS here to speak of. Skulk obviously getting a bit of drive out of that corner. Oh, a little bit of tail slide there, but still holding on to that overtake. And Laser not able to jump. So folks, here we have some pit stops happening. And what I'm going to do, let me do this for you quickly. We're going to jump into this. We're going to put some detail on here, and let's have a look at the tires. I see some more hard tires coming out. We see Daddy Kheri jumping onto a hard tire. We see Warrior and Roymere on that hard tire. We see Reki on that hard tire as well. But again, as I said, if I look over here and let me jump over to Jonko quickly as well. Jonko as well and Warrior both on their visors and their cameras, I still see raindrops. So I'm not sure what these folks are seeing. Hoping for a bit of a sunny day. I get that. That could be the reality here, but a big gamble on lap 17. Still 9 laps to go here, folks, and still the first. Pretty much everyone else sitting on inters. Clark also going back to inters. So interesting strategy there from them. Obviously wanting to get some fresher inters on, seeing if he can pick up a little bit of time here. And again, a bit of a spread out field. Unfortunately, some of those bottom runners there experiencing some penalties now. If we have a look quickly what that looks like, folks, it's not looking good. We've got 10 seconds from Warrior. We know that was a speeding in the pit lane. 2 penalties for Royme, 1 for Reki, 1 for Daddy Kheri, and then 2 for Clark there. And Kirkle also sitting on a 6-second penalty as well. Now that's going to hurt him if the race finishes as it is right now. He's going to lose he's going to lose 2 positions to Baby J, Baba J, and to Blue Turtle. But Clark was sitting also with a 6-second penalty is going to save him from any more positions that he would lose there as well. All right, so there we have it, folks. Majority in the pack still on the intermediates, pretty much neck and neck there. Not much changing with the exception of Clark jumping onto a fresh set of intermediates. And then the if we look at the stops there, doesn't look like anyone else has got any plans to stop at the moment. So let's pop this on here. Let's look at that position change, see where we are. Roy Mead picking up another 3-second penalty. You know what? Back in that, at the back of that pit there, still finishing top 15. So he's going to get himself a point tonight in the LSA rules, but a little bit challenging to fight your way out of that. So deep in that hole, dropping down 3 positions, getting those penalties is certainly going to hurt him a little bit here as we watch these top 3 fighting it out. Once again, Laser and Skulk side by side out of those first set of chicanes there. It looks like Laser's ever so slightly got an edge, but he's got a bit of the outside corner now, and Skulk going to try and take the inside, still defending from Tack, who's also in it here. 3-way fighting, and the crowds are loving this, folks. A little bit of argy-bargy there. Skulk losing some traction and trying to get back onto track. Hitting Tack there a little bit. A little bit of racing incident, I would say. Nothing there to investigate. But, folks, the crowd is ecstatic here. We have got a back runner there. Just getting out of the way of Roy Mead. Well done. Nicely done. Big change there. Tack Matrix getting a better run in that one corner there. A little bit of confusion there, and Skulk losing down a position. So, folks, my predictions not looking great, I will admit. But, hey, Skulk, I still got my money on you, man. Let's go. But Tack Matrix having an incredible race, picking up 6 positions from the start, avoiding any of the chaos out of those first couple of corners, and getting right up ahead. If I remember correctly, watching the replay there on the start, he had an excellent jump off the start, and we'll see if we can show that to you a little bit later, folks. Stay tuned, we won't jump off right away. But yeah, Tack Matrix pulling a little bit of a gap, really, just from that incident in that corner, and we don't see much. Here it comes, folks. Brand new inters, and Clark setting a fastest lap there. No, I apologize. Sorry, Kirkle and Clark. I'm mixing those two up there. Clark's setting the fastest lap. Let's have a look here quickly what that looks like. Yeah, Clark. No, sorry, I was right. Yeah, Clark on fresher intermediates. 3 laps old. Theodric there as well. Also just jumping on new intermediates. We've got Baba J just coming out of the pits now on mediums. So realistic that he could try and finish the race on that here with the low track temperature that we've got tonight. It could work well for him. But they're already not sure what happened there. It looks like he might have lost some positions. Could be slipping off the track there and not getting enough heat in those mediums just yet. But if we have a look here, John Coe suffering from some penalties. Right, folks, here it is, the first pit stop. So we have all 3 of the top 3 jumping into the pits. Let's sit with Scott. Looks like a pretty neat pit stop there. Let's jump up to Tack, also getting out of the pits pretty quickly, and Laser as well. So nothing changing in that order, but definitely a different pit strategy here. So we have Laser jumping onto the hard tires, we have Tack jumping onto the medium tires, and Skulk jumping onto the hards. We have Botardi as well, who's jumped onto medium tires there. He's obviously going to drop down a few positions just coming out of the pits. Clark looks like as well, just coming out of the pits on some medium. So after a few laps on those fresh inters, he has gone back and decided to jump onto those mediums. So Theodric being the only one there in the top 6, at least that has pitted now, that is on inters. So very interesting strategies here, different amongst all of them, folks. I certainly think Clark is going to be one to watch. John Coe as well, certainly looking good. A little bit, he's got two lap old tires already, so a little bit of heat in there. He's definitely going to be able to chase them down. I think let's jump over to John Coe and let's see what it's looking like there for him. He's got a bit of a back marker in front of him. Is that a back marker? No, I apologize. That he is chasing Botardi there. Let's see. I'm sure it's just Butter, but I don't know. I like Botardi, so we're going to go with that tonight. John Coe, those hards, which are a little bit warmer. So, Vasari might be struggling to get some heat into those tires there, folks. That could be, let's see what's happening there. Let's watch this in full screen here. There we go. Jonko getting a nice, neat overtake. Getting a bit of grip there, but losing it out of that corner, and Butani holding his position. And now Jonko in a little bit of danger from that Haas behind him. So Clark, Jonko, and Butani also in a great three-way battle going on here, folks. A lot is happening. But again, if we have a quick look, and just for a reminder here, I want to pull this up quickly. But just if we have a look at the detail here, so Jonko does have a 3-second penalty, and Clark has got that 6-second penalty. So as much as these three are sort of fighting it out tonight, that is going to certainly play a role into how they will fish it out. Jonko has to pull up that lead, and we've got a yellow flag there, folks. Let me just jump down there. It looks like we're all clear, but it looks like it was just that Haas of Clark losing it on the corner and getting off track a little bit. And there we have it. Oh man, this is going to be a tough race for if you are watching tonight. Hopefully you're paying attention here. You're definitely track limits playing a factor here. Skull picking up a 10-second track limit here, and here being chased down by Teodric. So definitely interesting. And Teodric, again, just as a reminder, you'll see as they come past us here, folks, Teodric is the one who jumped onto those intermediates. So if we have a look here a little bit closer, we can see that what is happening is Jonko on those hards and Teodric on those inters, but it looks like Teodric is getting a little bit of track time out of him there. Almost taking the lead there and got the inside line, able to outbrake Skulk into that corner, cutting that corner very sharp, and but a little bit of contact there. I don't see any of the front wing of Skulk missing, but definitely some carbon coming off that track. Skulk swirling all over the track there, and I'm not sure if he's got a bit of damage, but definitely some contact out of that corner. It's going to cost someone, that is for sure. But Teodric looks like he is holding that position, and he's going to head down the line. So, oh, how they have fallen. I'm going to call it the commentator's curse, Colt. I'm sorry, man. I had you in the books there, but struggling a little bit here. If we jump up as well, I just want to see what's happening here. So Osman, who was our pole sitter, has taken 23 laps and decided now is the time to pit for enters, jumping into that pit. Another sterling pit stop there by the Red Bull team. And this isn't going to get him out ahead of Tac Matrix, but I think he might just be ahead of Laser as they come around the corner. Their Tac is going to overtake him now, and Laser as well, but he's going to be right behind them. This is going to be interesting, folks. Laser and Osman on the same team here, fighting for some positions. And as I watch here, I see some action on the replay screen. We see Jonko jumping into the pits as well, picking up some hard tires there. Virtual safety car, folks. Virtual safety car. Roy Mead is out. Roy Mead is out. I didn't see where that happened, unfortunately, but we're going to see what happens here. Jonko coming out of those pits, getting a position there. Skulk coming out of those pits as well, it looks like it. And, Jonko just being able to jump past him there. Here we see Jonko right on the tail there. Virtual safety car, folks. So this is going to completely neutralize the race. This is just unlucky timing, really, for Osman. If Osman had waited one more lap, this would have been his race, I would say. Drive-through penalty for Osman, unfortunately speeding up. You see, I've got to just stop talking here, folks. The moment I say something positive about someone, we see a penalty. So Osman going to have to go through those pits. The virtual safety car is gone again, folks. So Osman, I imagine he's going to jump into those pits here. Let's see what he does. Laser as well, coming around that last corner. So Tac Matrix leading the race. Laser 1.9 seconds right behind him. And Osman is definitely going to have to jump into those pits there to kill that drive-through penalty. He's got about four laps or so to get that done. And then, of course, jumping down, there's Osman going through, getting that 10 second. He may as well, because he's got enough of a lead ahead behind him to get out in front there and still go chase down those front runners. But Tac Matrix, incredible race so far, as he has come all the way from the back of the race there, not back of the race, but in the middle of the pack. And if we look at that position change, 7 position changes, so coming all the way from 8th position, and yeah, we've got that. All right, thanks. I see. I'm getting some feedback there, folks. Give me a moment here. I'm gonna just make sure that my mic sounds good again. All right, sorry, I did only see that message now. I assume that was a little bit earlier. I think we were having some internet issues and breaks in the internet there, so we should be all good. But thanks for the feedback there. Appreciate that, Nikhil. All right, super. So, folks, here we are. 10 laps to go. Lap 26. We're on board with Osman, who was our pole sitter. He's obviously dropped down 2 positions. He's almost 20 seconds behind the front. He just, if you missed it, folks, and you just joined us now, he had to do a 10-second drive-through penalty, unfortunately, that he picked up for speeding under the virtual safety car, which is just really unlucky. I think there was a little bit of timing and bad timing there on probably this game. But as we jump in, we can see now that Laser falling a little bit behind Tac Matrix, almost 3.6, 3.5 seconds there behind. Tac Matrix looking good on those medium tires, and of course now, can he make them last to the end of the race? And oh, there we have on the medium tire. Speaking of such, Daddy Hetty setting the fastest lap of the day so far. So Daddy Hetty all the way down in 12th position. There we go. As we can see, the track is now starting to form up, folks. DRS is going to start playing a role here. I'm watching. Let's jump onto this quickly. This is really interesting. We've got Botardi here. We have got Jonko on this side here. And we've got some exciting racing happening here. Jonko chasing down Teodric right on his tail. And again, the difference is going to be, folks, these penalties in the end here. It's certainly going to cost Skulk and Jonko. Although they're fighting for these positions, they have to get down the road to get away from the people behind them. There we go, Jonko and Skulk hitting those fastest laps. And of course, as I said, now that the track is dry, our race control has allowed some DRS. DRS is now available, and of course a bit of a DRS train, but there you can see Teodric getting that overtake on Osman in the front foreground of that race. And as we jump here back to Osman, there we can see Osman right behind Teodric now. Teodric still, this whole pack here, about 20 seconds down the line, but can Teodric, who is known for his race pace, catch up to those front runners at the front there? There are some back runners that are certainly going to play a role in this, but 20 seconds is a tall ask in what is now 9 laps to go. TC Attack Matrix looking comfortable with almost a 5-second lead there against Laser, and then of course Laser with a very comfortable 20 seconds there behind ahead of Teodric. So here we have Osman chasing down Teodric, trying to get back that position. Again, no penalties between these two, so this is a straightforward position fight here. Jonko, unfortunately, being the first of the front runners to pick up that penalty. And there we go, Teodric leveraging that DRS that he got down that straight on Osman to get that overtake done, and obviously giving him a fastest lap time there. A little bit of a DRS train happening right behind Teodric here, and obviously he is not getting any benefit from anyone else. He's just got clear open road, so he's going to hope he's going to put that hammer down and get down that road, hopefully better than Stroll does in an Aston Martin. Alright, Osman here right on the tail of Teodric, and this seems to be our tightest fight at the moment. But if we jump down here to Botardi, we have a yellow flag, folks. It doesn't look like much, someone running a little bit off the lap. We go back to green flags again, so we're all good, we're all safe. but Buttardi on the tail here of Clark. Now, as it stands right now, because of positions and because of penalties, Buttardi will automatically jump up a position or two here because he's right on the tail. But obviously what he wants to do is get ahead of Clark and start chasing down the rest of the pack there. Looks like he's got some great pace, speed here, and on those mediums, making that call quite early on. So looking really good. And there we go again. Our DRS fastest lap each that we go past here is certainly going to play a role here as well. Alright folks, I want to update on the side here. I want to jump onto some of the other drives that we've got, and we're picking up some screens from here. There we go. Alright, super. Folks, this is some exciting racing. Warrior, unfortunately, picking up another 3-second penalty there on those last couple of corners in the race that he's on there. And unfortunate for him, looking like he was going to pick up a couple of good positions here, calling the hards maybe a lap or two early, but unfortunately still a bit far down that track, picking up 2 positions though from the start. So Mexico not his best track at the moment, but he is still going to finish off strong. Alright, we've got a yellow. It looks like we've got a Haas on the track, and he's standing still. I can't see him, unfortunately. I am actually, but apparently not. So Clark lost track there a little bit. Okay, sorry, there was a weird camera angle. Clark dropping down a couple of positions there, unfortunately, losing that. He was in that battle there with Buttardi. Not sure if they tangled a little bit. We'll see if we can catch that on the replay, possibly. But here we have it, folks. Buttardi now trying to chase down some of those early runners. Baba J as well there. Looking, let's see, Clark looks like he's going into pits here. Let's see what happens, folks. I don't see any wing damage. It doesn't look like they're doing a wing change. They are doing a wing change, folks. Definitely taking some damage on that off there. So as he heads out of the pits there with a fresh set of soft tires, he's certainly going to try and make up some time there with the Warrior just taking him down that pit. And of course Clark hoping to put down the hammer there and pick up some time. Alright folks, let's get back to it. So we see that Laser catching up a little bit here. Stack Matrix, he's reduced that interval to just under 3 seconds. Let's see what he does here. I'm not sure. It looks like he's getting a little bit of benefit from maybe some of the back runners. Looks like he picked up some DRS somewhere along that line there. So able to open up his wing and try and decrease that distance a little bit. Jonko into the 1 minute 17 seconds for his lap times now, and I'm sure we'll start seeing those tumbling more and more. But let's have a jump over to Jonko. So now Jonko chasing down Teodric here in the Aston. So good old Ferrari versus Aston here. And unfortunately, of course, for Jonko is he doesn't want to get too stuck in this because he has got a couple of, I think he's got about 6 seconds of penalties, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. But that is going to hurt him a little bit. So even if he gets ahead of Teodric here, he's really got to get down the road to make that position count. And that is unfortunately how it's going to be. Skulk right behind him there, and it looks like we've got our Skulk and Osman battling it out there a little bit. This race has just been Skulk fighting all the records. Laser for the first half of the track, and then of course later on we see him fighting Osman here as well. So here we go with Jonko and Teodric battling it out for that third position on track, but of course we know with the penalties it's certainly going to be a little bit different. Folks, exciting racing from the start to the finish. I'm going to jump down here. We've got Osman who is looking to take Skulk there. Skulk of course going to lose out with some of those penalties. Skulk not getting DRS out that back straight. That's going to cost him a little bit. Osman locking up a little bit. See a little bit of smoke coming off those tires, and unfortunately not able to make that overtake stick. But he is getting DRS again out of this last little section here. But is he close enough? Doesn't look like it. However, he is running out of battery, so definitely leveraging all the battery that he has, hoping to charge up a bit more battery, running off the track there a little bit, Let's jump on board with Skulk. He's still looking pretty comfortable here, defending hard, always challenging against a car that's got DRS behind you. And there we can see those soft tires of Clark playing a role here. He is trying to close that gap to Warrior, and Warrior still, of course, on those hard tires from almost 10, I want to say 10 laps ago, maybe. We'll have a look at those details in a moment. So let's have a look. So Clark, 3 stops. Definitely some issues there. And there we have it. Osman taking in a 3-second penalty. Yeah, Warrior on. Oh, sorry, that's right. Warrior pitted. He put on those laps on 8 laps ago. He put on those mediums. Let's have a look at the penalties here. Kirkle just picking up another 3-second penalty, bringing him up to 15. Just a reminder, folks, you don't want to get to that 20-second penalty mark because that is going to hurt you. So Skulk and Osman now racing head-to-head because pretty much both on 3-second penalties. So where they finish on this race right now is where their position will be for the race. And that is good news. Boutari all the way down 7.5 seconds behind them. So they've got a bit of breathing room. But if we have a look here at Teodric, is still being chased here by Skulk. And, Teodric is still chasing Jonko, who is got that 3-second penalty. But Jonko able to get past Teodric. And now, of course, Teodric is in the hunt there, folks. So again, Jonko needing to get 3 seconds down the road if he wants to keep that position when they cross that line. And folks, let me jump up here. Sorry, I'm fast asleep, but have a look here. Laser, I don't know what happened here, folks, but he is only down to half a second, 600ths of a second behind Tac Matrix. These two being able to keep it clean all day, no penalties on them, no track limits on them. We've got a yellow flag, which is right in front of where these two are going to be heading out to in a moment. Let's jump there. Looks like someone is turned around. It is Williams. It's the Williams of Recce. He is staying neat, waiting for the cars to pass him. He's got some more cars coming, but it looks like he's able to reverse and stay out of the racing line. That yellow flag could play a role here, folks. But it looks like he's going to get going again. Still standing still. Looks like he's moving forward. And as the two front runners, here we go, on board with Laser as they go into the stadium. This is the third last lap, folks. They're about to enter into the penultimate lap of this race with Laser right on the tail of Tac Matrix. Nothing in it. There we go. The Williams has cleared, so no more yellow flags for them to be worried about. And Laser dropping back a little bit more now after that. But of course, this DRS down the straight is going to help him, and he's going to catch up a little bit there, tighten and close up that gap. Is it enough, though, folks, to help him in that second TRS zone? Is he close enough? Can he get a better drive out of these last 2 corners before that DRS? Is he going to open up? Let's see what happens. He's opening up that DRS. He's only 500, 600ths of a second behind him. This is going to allow him to close up that gap just a little bit more. And certainly going to make an exciting last 2 laps of racing, folks. Last 2 laps of racing. We have Teodric as well there, who is fighting Jonko hard. I don't want to jump to that. I want to keep us on position 1 and 2 at the moment, fighting for first place on that podium. I would say Teodric has secured his fate and comfortably secured position 3, the last step on the podium. But here we can see Laser fighting hard, using every ounce of track that he can, trying very hard, locking up a little bit into the stadium as they're coming now into the last corner of the penultimate lap. And as they round that corner, Laser slightly closer on this lap as he goes over the finish line. They are in the penultimate lap. DRS is about to open. He is going to close that gap even more. Going on the outside of the corner, he takes the lead, folks. Takes the lead in the last lap. This is incredible. If you watched last week as well, we had some phenomenal racing in the middle group as well. So here we have it again. Laser and Tac Matrix right to the end, battling it out all the way. And is Tac going to be able to leverage some of the DRS zones that are coming up? Folks, a quick run through there. Teodric was able to get in front of Jonko, which is great. Osman almost overtook Skulk there. So Skulk is currently leading that position. in fifth, and he'll hold on to that, folks. Jonko as well will hold on to that position where he is there. Teodric is going to definitely keep third, and it looks like Tac Matrix is just dropping down a little bit further down now, 1 second out, so he's not going to get that benefit. Laser playing very well here on his ERS and able to do it. Oh no, Jonko, unfortunately, 3 second penalty, but if he can keep 3 seconds ahead of Skulk, he'll hold his position. And there we go, over the line, folks, and Laser takes it with an incredible drive all the way from, let me go back to that actually. Wow, folks, wow, that is incredible. So there's the position changes from third position all the way up into first. Attack Matrix picking up 6 positions, getting himself onto that podium in second place. But what a race, folks. What an incredible, incredible race. Let's have a look down the line here. We don't have really any more fights. We have Osman and Skulk. Yeah, there we go. Coming down, and I think they've finished as well, so they're done. And as we jump down here, not much more in it, folks. We'll finish off there on Warrior, who is chasing down Clark. Let's see if he's able to get it. I won't look at what the penalties are right now, but Warrior getting DRS out of that drive into the stadium corner, right on the tail of Clark there. But is it a little bit too little too late? No! No! Clark spins and pushes. Unfortunately, oh, that is, wow. You know, it's so hard for us. Martin, I don't know what you think, but that unfortunately was a little bit of an unsafe re-entry onto the track. And I think forcing Warrior off there is going to cost him, unfortunately. And that, folks, brings us to the end of today's race. Wow. I'm glad we jumped down to Warrior there. Some exciting racing in the very, very end there, folks. I'm going to jump quickly to, and give me a moment here, but I'm going to jump quickly to we're going to just see what's happening here quickly with these positions. There we go. Fantastic. Well done. Sorry, I don't want to see them win. So there we go, folks. Some incredible, incredible racing here from Team Mexico. Laser coming in first. Tac Matrix with an incredible second place there. And starting on the position on 8. Teodric as well. What a fantastic race. Hey, Roger, you called it, man. Master Teodric falling back early part of the race and really just able to come back from pretty much nowhere. So well done to you. Great work there by them. And then, of course, finishing off there, we have Skulk, Osman, Watadi, Tac, and then Blue Turtle, Daddy, Khedi, Kirkle, Warrior, Clark, and then Reki. And it looks like Warrior and Clark are swapping positions there because of the penalties anyway. Yeah, there you can see Clark suffering from 9 seconds of penalties. That's going to cost you any day of the week. And although finishing off with the fastest lap time on those nice softs, unfortunately that is the race for him today. Alright, race director, there we go. An interesting various selection of pit stops and pit options there. Folks, if you're going to stay with us for a second, I do want to take you quickly back, and I'm going to try to pick up the start of this race because I think we definitely have something interesting here to have a look at. I'm going to jump onto Jonko's start there in lap 1. Let's see what happened there in lap 1. Alright, hold on for me, folks. But great racing by all the drivers here tonight. Some spectacular racing, nice, clean, keeping it neat and tidy. And I'm going to jump over quickly to, I'm just going to flip over to some nice background track here. We're going to jump onto Jonko's start of the race, but I think he started from the pits. Did he start from the pits? I'm not quite sure what was going on here. Oh, that's qualifying. Sorry, folks. Let's just jump. I'm going to scrub through a little bit here. Okay, looks like we're in the right position now. There we go. Very interesting. and we'll jump onto Warrior for a moment as well. Theodric getting driver of the day there. Absolutely excellent drive by Theodric there. Okay, guys, let's see. And just as it started, I think we're good. Give me a moment here. Let's see what's happening here. Pretty sure it was about here. There we go. All right, folks. So I just want to see the start of the race here. Let's see what happened. See what we missed out on. Because there was definitely a little bit of action from that start grid. So we'll jump onto that in a second. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So there's the start. This is Jonko. And we'll line up Warriors as well in a moment too, which is probably around about here somewhere. There we go, Warrior not streaming his qualifying. Alright, so let's have a look here, folks. So this is Jonko. We're going to just jump a little bit ahead. Here's the start of the race. So Jonko right up in the top runnings here, and 13 seconds to go before the start here. We'll have a look at Warriors replay as well, see what we can see there. Make this a little bit bigger for you folks. Alright, here we go. Alright, it's all green, all that rain, everyone on inters, and Skulk in front. Jonko in 4th position, and good start from Jonko. It looks like Daddy Kenny got a bit of a bad start there and got jumped by several cars, causing a bit of backup in the back there. So that definitely was a bit of the chaos that started. And look at that incredible drive in phase 2 of the start there by Laser and Tac Matrix. So them coming all the way from the back, just swallowing up Jonko in that. Some incredible racing there, and a little bit of argy-bargy. This is what I was looking for, folks. There we see Reki coming across the grass. We see Jonko being pushed off, and Jonko falling all the way back down to 15. So he actually had an incredible recovery of the race from 15, coming back all the way into the top 6, if I recall correctly. So fantastic driving there by Jonko. Well done, Jonko. Let's have a look here quickly at Warrior. So Warrior on the start. Let's jump a little bit ahead, and Warrior a little bit further back, so we're going to get a bit of view here of what was going on. Warrior all the way down in 15th position, and good start. Got a bit of a jump on Kirkle there, able to go on the outside here, but a lot of traffic and visibility, so tough to see. Incredible racing there, nice, keeping it tidy and neat up until this point, and then of course we get into first turn chaos there a little bit. Tac Baby J getting pushed out of there, losing a bit of grip, and this is where it looks like Jonko got pushed off there as well. Looks like it was Theodric. And then a little bit of action on the left and the right here. Let's jump back a little bit there. So who do we have on the left here? We've got Kirkle on the left there. A little bit of mixed up with Roy Mead there. Daddy Kheri trying to get out of the issue with the Jonko, and then of course doing some avoidance there, causing a bit of backup. So Warrior getting a great start in the first couple of corners here, getting all the way up to 8th position. And of course you're going to have to watch his the rest of his replay, folks, if you want to know what happened with him. But thanks for watching tonight, folks. Great to have you all with us, and stay tuned for Tier 4, which will be coming tomorrow night.